All right, let's talk about Monday, October the 31st. I do not always do end of the day videos like this, but I always do end of the day charts for my Discord group so that we can go back and look over the trades that should have existed that day. And then I tell the traders they should be matching up their trades with those levels to see if they took them. Now, in my case, I actually keep an entry folder in my object tree, which I'll show you in a little bit. But first, let's walk through the day. First of all, this is 2 days before FOMC. Therefore, these 2 days are highlighted with extreme boredom and usually back and forth through the opening. Today's the type of day I told my traders that this is a great day not to trade. Tomorrow's a great day not to trade. FOMC is a great day not to trade. And in fact, this entire week is a great week to not trade. That you can catch up on some education, some chores, some things around the house, or watch price action, or just trade very smartly. So every day we Zoom together, marking levels together, looking for trades together. So we traded up until noon. Then I took my wife out to lunch. This maroon area is lunchtime. And then I came back and placed a couple trades in the afternoon. So let's look at the pre-market first. First of all, I keep this arrow on my chart. And this arrow keeps you out of trouble. If the arrow is pointing down, I am typically looking for shorts only, but I will take beautifully set up longs, but with smaller leverage. If I'm going with the trend, I'll bet bigger. If I'm going against the trend, I just bet much smaller because it makes sense. So as we're looking at the pre-market, you can see that we're laddering down very easily. So my arrow was already pointing down. The day opens up at this horizontal line, says open. And so I'm looking for short. So as price is moving along, I know I am drawing where I would go short if price came back and gave me the opportunity to do so. So price was coming down here. And to be honest, I'm wanting price to continue to go down, come back and hit this level and keep going short. This is the short I actually want. I want this short right here. Price goes away, comes back, hits me there. So in the room, I'm asked often, what's next? What am I looking at next? Well, at this point, when price is down in this area, this is what I'm looking for. This is where I would probably do my most leverage to go short. But that's not what happened. Price came back up into the middle of the range, into the top of this peak. And so I took this short, but I took it very small. I mean, look at those three strong candles going up. So I took it because it wasn't an A+ setup. This was a B setup to me. It was with the trend. It was a short with my arrow pointing down, but I didn't like the location of the short. So I went small here. So when price took out this with these highs here and went up, I moved this to balance. We failed to make a newer low, a strong low and bounce. So I moved it to balance. We went above the opening. And so I moved to balance. So I'm looking for shorts or longs now. Price comes down and I am keenly watching this, which is the IB low. I actually went long off of here, which I'll show you later. And for it to go up, it did not make a new low. And that's what I was kind of banking on. So that was the IB low. Price goes up. I'm still looking for longs or shorts. I don't have anything in the short category. In fact, what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn that off and I'm going to mark this with a shorter stubby one. And in fact, how much heat would you have taken? You would have taken 2 points of heat, max run of 13. So if you'd have had a 50% trailer, you could have gotten 7 points off that. All right, so let's continue. So price goes up here. I'm still balanced. I'm looking for shorts or long. There's no short setups there, but there was a long setup right here. I had my 2 point candle separation and right there's a long. I don't remember if I know I took this long. I don't remember if I took this one. So we'll look later when I do my entries. So price goes up. I'm still looking for longs. I'm still marking levels. I don't have one. I don't have one. Okay. So now price came all the way up to here. I did take this short here because there was a level that I had off a 30-minute chart, which I make orange. In fact, it was a break level, so I make it dotted. And I did take this short here right before lunch. I was not in this big dump, unfortunately. I made very small, but that's what I did. And I went to lunch, took my wife to lunch, and we were gone getting ready for Halloween tonight. I did come back, and I came back somewhere in here and immediately noticed we are still in balance. This thing is still horizontal. So therefore, I'm looking for shorts or longs. And as I'm looking in here, where would I tell my traders they should have taken a trade? Should have taken a trade there. There's a long. I had 2 candle clearance based off my rules I give everybody. Let's see. 2 points of heat, 7 points up. So you should have made 3 points, 4 points, somewhere in there. That worked. So I'm still looking for shorts or long. We're just meandering. We're not doing a whole lot. It's really hard to have clean, clear, crisp levels, but you get them if you're patient. This was a clear, clean, crisp level, in my opinion. So that worked. Price is meandering. I don't have 2 candle separation at all. So the good thing about my 2 candle separation model is it keeps you out of trouble. So here is actually a long you would have taken. I had 2 candle separation and it came back in. How much heat would you have taken? Not every trade's perfect. You took 2 points of heat. It went up 3 points. So you probably made from break even to 1.5 points. And then big vomit. This is now going into the final power hour. And so you've got to be careful. Now, one of the things I like about what happened here is it took out, only by the wick though, but it took out the swing low here. And maybe it's actually based off this one, but it took it out. So as price was going back up, I knew I was going to take this short right here. I was going to take this short. I don't usually like taking a short up in the middle of the range. Here's why I did it though. Because it took out this swing low, in my opinion, it opened the door for there to be a nice vomit and power hour. I'm also taking the risk this thing keeps shooting up. So what's my leverage? Small is the answer. I was actually up 2 points at one time, and I remember just getting out at break even because I was hoping that's where it would reverse and we get a big move. So here's what I was hoping it would do is that. But I didn't get that, so no big deal. And I shouldn't be surprised. We're back and forth through the opening almost every time frame. So small. That was my final trade of the day going into the power hour. Going into the final minutes of the day. So as I said, I have an entry folder where I put my entries. And when I call my trades out loud in the room, I always make the entry because I want to be held accountable for my entries. So let me do this. I need to get rid of these other ones up here. Let's get rid of those. And by the way, you can select all these levels and just hit the I and they'll all disappear. Or you can select all of those levels and you can drop them in a folder. Turn that folder on and off. Isn't that neat? Okay. In case you didn't know that. So here's all my trades today. Did very well today. No big runs. But solid trades. Pre-market was the best trades. Took 0 heat on both of these shorts. They were very nice. So on my chart, I always have an arrow. Arrow tells me what to do. And I was short there. And as we opened, I was still wanting to be short. And as I said earlier, what I was hoping is price would continue down, come back to here so I could go short. But that didn't happen. Price went back up into the meat of the action, into that range. And so I still went short because it was still with the trend, but it was deeper in the range. And so I did it really small. Did well. Came down. I went long here. Now that's counter trend. So I went small and I only made small. And then when we came down to the IB low, I front ran it a little bit based off the bodies of these candles here. And I went long and did well. Price went up. It came back. I went long again because to me, this was the second ladder up of a laddering. In fact, there was 1, 2, 3, 4 ladder ups on the way. I was long on each of them. I'm actually really happy about that. So price goes up, comes back, hits one of my levels. I go long, I make a little. It goes a little deeper, and off of a 1 minute. See, this is where I make a note. See where it says 1 minute? So what I can do is, I'm going to put the replay tool right there, drop to the 1 minute, and there's the 1 minute trade. So I can go back later and say, okay, there was my level. I ran it a little bit, and that was my trade. Let me turn this off. And let me go back. Market just reopened. So let's make sure I'm on 3 minutes. Too many candles for 3 minutes. That's how I knew. So went long off this 1 minute level. Price goes up. I had 2 candle separation, which is one of my rules. I front ran this level a little bit and I was long and did very well. As I mentioned before, I had a half-hour break level up here on the chart that I told my traders they need to make sure it was marked. And in fact, let me bring up my 30-minute chart here. So here's the day. When price came down, I was waiting to go long, really strong down here at 70, and it never got there. And as we started going back up, I said, watch guys, we're going to go up to this very first level. And that's where we went. Went through it a little bit, just a little bit, and came back down, and there was the short. So I took that short based off the 30-minute level. Made small. I was not in that full dump. As I said, I was going to lunch. Came back. Here was a 1 minute trade right here. Let me go to the 1 minute chart. That had to be off the 1 minute. Yep. So here's my level. Took a little bit of heat. How much heat did I take? 1.5, and I probably made a 1.5. It's fine. Not the end of the world. Because I'm still in balance. We are not laddering anywhere. We are in balance. When we came back, I knew we were in balance. I'm taking shorts or longs. Let me go to my 3-minute chart. Too many candles. Then price comes down, takes out this swing low as I had mentioned earlier, hoping that would set up for a nice dump going into power hour. It did not happen. I went short. I was up 2 points at one point and only made a tick or so. I don't remember, but it was basically a break-even trade. Oh well, I will take break-evens any day of the week. Today, let me, I traded about 75 contracts. 3 of them were losers. 3 of the contracts. And because what I'll do is I will let's say I was going to go short here. I might spread out some entries and only 2 or 3 or 4 of them get in. And when I get all out, maybe 1 or 2 of those actually lost money, but the other ones made money. So the trade was successful, but maybe there were some individual contracts that actually lost a little bit of money. Not the end of the world. So I traded about 75 contracts today, and my losing contracts was 5.77%. So that's about right. That's pretty good. I'll take that any day of the week. So there's my analysis of the day. There's an analysis of my entries. This is something we do every day in our Discord group. So thanks for listening. Bye.